Hey guys, it's Jen. I'm super excited to share this recipe with you. Look over the ingredients list because I bet you have most of these things already in your kitchen and you can knock this out today. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let's get going. First, you'll want to get out your muffin cup liners. I use the silicone kind, but you can certainly use the paper liners. I go ahead and put mine into the muffin tin just to support them, but you can use a baking sheet if you're using silicone. I also do go ahead and give them a quick spray of nonstick oil so that the muffins come out easily. First thing you'll want to do is get your 2 large eggs and give them a quick beating. Once those are beaten, you'll want to add them to a large mixing bowl. This bowl is going to contain all of your wet ingredients as you go through the recipe. The next thing to add is your vanilla. So get out your vanilla extract and you'll want to add 1 teaspoon. Just add it right in with the eggs. The next ingredient is bananas. The recipe calls for 2 large bananas, but I only had small bananas, so I added 3. You'll want to mash them up good with the eggs. You'll see here it's a bit of a struggle. I would add them in separately to a bowl and mash them first and then add them in, but I learned on this one. So I got them all incorporated and got the lumps out, and the next thing to add was honey. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of honey. I had my teaspoon out, so 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon. Once you have all of those wet ingredients in the bowl, you'll want to give it a quick stir just to incorporate all of the ingredients together. Set that bowl to the side and get out a second mixing bowl where you'll have all of your dry ingredients. The first thing to add is your old-fashioned oats. It's 2½ cups. Next thing is the ground cinnamon. And then you'll want to add in your baking powder. Make sure you're using baking powder, not baking soda. Give the dry ingredients a quick stir. Then that whole bowl of ingredients goes in with the wet, and you'll want to stir them, mixing completely to make sure that everything's incorporated. It's pretty thick at this point. The next ingredient to add is your almond milk. The recipe calls for 1½ cups of almond milk. Make sure you're getting the unsweetened kind so you're not adding in any extra sugar. You'll notice as you mix it, it's very thin. I was a little concerned about this as I was making it, but I did not alter the recipe. I just gave it a few stirs, let it sit for a couple minutes as I cleaned up some things, and it thickened up a bit. However, it's still much thinner than a regular muffin batter. The recipe calls for adding your blueberries in on top of each muffin, but I like my blueberries all the way through, so I added half of the amount into the batter now, and saved the second half to go on top. Gave it a quick stir and I was ready to go. I got out my scoop and began portioning the muffins into their muffin cups. After each muffin cup had a portion of batter in it, I got the remaining blueberries and they went on top of each muffin. This way you're sure that each person is getting blueberries inside and on top of their muffin. And those went into the oven. At that point I still had quite a bit of batter remaining, so I got out my mini muffin tin and liners, and I made some mini muffins as well. Same process, scoop them out into the liners, portion the extra blueberries up on top, and right into the oven. The time on these for cooking is about 30 minutes. You'll want to use the toothpick method, where you stick a toothpick into the muffin, and if it comes out clean, it's ready. And you can see once they were out, I put them onto a cooling rack, got a platter ready, and once I took them out of their muffin liners and put them onto the platter, they were ready to go. My family couldn't wait to try them, and I will say that all of us gave them a big thumbs up.